All right, I'll call the meeting to order. Can we have a roll call, please?
Vice Chair Louise,
Here?
Commissioner Avery, Commissioner Bell,
Here.
Commissioner Ruby,
Here.
Commissioner Crawford,
Present.
Commissioner Bidnis,
Here.
Commissioner Devi,
Here.
Commissioner Macon,
Here.
Commissioner Provo,
Here.
Commissioner Ski absent, and Commissioner Templeton absent.
All right, thank you. Everyone was sent the minutes for March 14th, 2022. So at this time, I would take any corrections to the minutes or approval of the minutes.
Motion to approve the minutes.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? All opposed, same sign. All right, we have approved the minutes. We will move to our first and only file here, file PZ 2022-102, request for a certificate of appropriateness to install air conditioning units into a previously solid wall of the house. We have staff report, please.
Good afternoon. Matthew Davis Sr. is seeking permission to install air conditioning units into a previously solid wall of the house located at 2275 Avalon Avenue. The installation of the units has been completed without the benefit of an approved certificate of appropriateness, and charges are pending in court. Originally, the house had a solid wall, and now the home has two air conditioning units protruding through the wall of the home visible to the street right-of-way. Mr. Davis Sr. expressed that the second story of the home gets too hot in temperature, which is why he needs the units. If you look on your screens, let me get the mouse over there. Okay, so right here, this is where the air conditioning units were installed. It used to be a previously solid wall. Staff does recommend denial of this request, and the applicant is also here in the audience.
All right, any questions for staff?
Would it have mattered if they were located on the sides?
Yeah, if it's not visible from the street right of way, then they would technically be allowed to do it.
But they would show a little bit, right? They were
If
on
they
the
did it
side?
on the sides, I'm not sure if that extends all the way to the back, but potentially the back side may be able. It just depends how the layout is. But the back side would not be visible.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other questions for staff?
It's not possible to put the air conditioners in another location.
We're questions for staff.
Oh, for staff, excuse me, that is not me.
Okay, any other
Oh.
questions for staff? Go ahead.
I will expand on it. Judge Lively, he had court last week, but Judge Lively has granted a 60-day extension so that we would be able to have this meeting, so that he can get proper guidance on what you guys would like to do. But whenever I mentioned pending charges, he has appeared, but we did Judge gave 60 days.
All right.
Is
And
this a single-family home?
Yes. Yes.
I thought they were apartments.
all right.
I do not believe so, but we do have the property owner here.
Okay.
All right. Mr. Davis, if you come forward, state your name and your address for the record, please. And then just tell us what your situation is.
Hello?
It's on.
Couldn't hear. My name is Matthew Davis Sr., residing at 2275 Avalon Street, Beaumont, Texas. I pretty much found out when the inspectors found out that I had air conditioners in the winter. I was bedridden for 2 weeks. And when I found out, that there was air conditioners in it, I didn't know about it being performed at the time. And I didn't know about the protocols that was required to do such a thing. You know, it's my home. I just assume, you know, I always assumed that, you know, I could, you know, add anything on it that would benefit, you know, the family. But as I told you, I didn't know, you know, that it was done. And I have a granddaughter that's a single parent, and she was just doing things that would benefit her, you know, in a manner that would make her a little bit more comfortable in the apartment upstairs. So, you know, I found out about it, you know, and then I got the letters from you all downtown, and I answered to the letters. That's pretty much it.
Any questions from Mr. Davis?
Is this a single-family home or apartments?
It's a single-family home with an upstairs living area. 2275 is the primary, and 2277 is the upstairs part, apartment part. That's all a part of the same home.
Mr. Davis, did you make the cuts to install the air conditioners yourself, or did you have it hired?
As I said, I was sick in bed.
So you had someone else do it for you?
I didn't have anybody to do it. My granddaughter was just doing what she thought was necessary in order for her to be more comfortable upstairs.
She did the work, Mr. Davis?
She had somebody to do it, I think. You know.
That was
Yeah.
her question.
November. It was pretty hot last year around that time. I was in my room, in the bed, trying to recuperate.
So you could relocate the air conditioning units, correct?
Well, they just.
Would
Could
you
you say that again?
You can relocate these to another part of the house, correct? Or you can hire someone to move the air conditioner units?
Can I hire somebody? I didn't have the money to hire somebody to put them in to begin with at that time. And along the sides of the house, you know, there's an open wall, and it's a long hallway. There's a long hallway up there, so that wouldn't be an ideal space for one.
It's like
And this in a big living area, you know, where they watch television, and then they got a dining space, you know, right there before you go into the kitchen. And they was pretty warm in there, so I would imagine.
Thank you.
Mr. Davis, what's that red that we're seeing around those units? That red frame around those units? What is that?
I would imagine it's wood. That's wood, you know, that whoever did it, you know, put in, you know.
Is it just raw wood, or has it been painted red, or?
It was painted the color, the rustic color, like the original wood is on the house.
Mr. Davis, that is not the same color as the wood on the house. That's a bright red.
Okay. I'm colorblind too.
Oh,
so.
okay, I'm sorry.
And the
I'm
color
sorry.
looked pretty much the same to me.
It looks like somebody painted them like a fire engine red. It's
Wow.
not the same color as the siding on the house.
They might have been trying to match up with what was there. I don't know. I didn't know anything about it, because if I was having it done, I would have been out there, you know, paying attention to what they were doing.
It
And the
looks-
wood would have probably been the same as the wood that's on the house.
It looks like somebody's taken a red magic marker or something and outlined them. Did anybody touch up this photo? No.
You can see a magic marker.
No, I mean, it
It's
just
bright red.
looks like
It's
somebody's
bright
just
red.
Yes, sir.
I've done that to point them out.
Yeah, this was an actual photo done
Well,
last Friday.
You know, it's clear that they cut it out, you know, because, you know, there wasn't air conditioners there. But, you know, she must have requested that, you know, that they do it. She's just single parent, 23 years old with a small girl. And she's just trying to start her journey, you know. And she didn't come and tell me. I saw her a number of times, and she didn't come and say, I put air conditioners in. She just, you know, did it, you know, working on her little minimum wage job.
I guess I still don't understand that answer to my question was, is it possible to board those two places up and put it on another side of the building so it doesn't show?
What you mean on the back side?
Well, I don't know what side, but any side except this side.
They
I'd
would
say.
show on this side over here, because you have windows at the top, just like you have windows at the top. On the front side here, there's windows all the way around. You know,
Maybe she
you
could just
know,
put it in a window
just
then.
above just below the roof, there's windows all the way around. Outlook windows.
They're solid pane glass. They're not a
Yes.
movable
Yeah,
window.
they're not operable.
Wouldn't the hole be there?
Even on the back
Yeah, but
side?
they're like a 6
They
foot
long, 4 foot,
pane window.
right about 4 foot, 3.5 foot.
It's a mid-century modern house, so that open area wraps all the way around the house. I looked at the 3D views of it down both sides.
So both sides are windows, the big wide windows all the way?
They're narrower. See right here.
They're
from here
about
to
the
here?
height of that corner.
Yeah.
They're narrower around the sides.
And another thing too, on this side of the house over here, we would have put, it wouldn't be in the living room, because you walk up the stairs up into the living area and dining area. And when you walk down the hallway, there is no electrical outlets or nothing like that, but each one of those air conditioners have their own outlet for you to plug in for a 110 unit.
All right, any other questions for Mr. Davis? Thank you, Mr. Davis. We appreciate you being here.
Okay.
All right, I'll open it up for discussion.
Question, how does the 60-day, or when does the 60-day end that Judge Lively gave him?
It looks like it's in the second week of June.
Okay.
That's when, because he went before last week, like
Okay.
before the judge last week.
So we can still approve or deny this now, even though that deadline is in place?
Yes, because we would
Okay.
just report, if you guys were to deny it, then he would have to rectify
By
the.
that time?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. I make a motion that we deny file PZ 2022-102.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Open it up for discussion. Personally, I think this is one of those really tough things.
Yeah.
I don't think that Mr. Davis has the money to move those.
Maybe his granddaughter does.
Well,
She's the one that put them in.
and it's one of those things where it's the greater of two evils, okay? Do you think that all those boards are gonna be pulled off and then all of them put back in place and all of it stained to match again in the front? Or do you think that somebody's just gonna put a plywood patch in the hole and
And
move
stain
them
it.
around, and it'd be worse than what it is right now?
But worse, if you couldn't see it, would be better.
Yeah, well, if it wouldn't have been done, it would be the best.
Obviously.
And, it's,
But I know we try to stay with no exceptions
exactly.
because it
exactly.
rolls over to the next person.
Right.
So it's not an easy decision.
Any other discussion?
If they painted the red to match the house a bit more, do y'all think it would be better?
Be better, sure.
I think, no. We keep wavering off of our set agenda, and we need to stick with that. This is inappropriate. There's other air conditioning systems you can put in, there's the mini splits and stuff like that. If we would've got references or talked to somebody to put a different kind of air conditioning system in there, that's not that more expensive than something like this, would be, you know, a lot more appealing. But I feel for them, but we're gonna have to take them out, and they need to put it back like it was. We just can't let them put a board back over. I feel for them, but, you know, we keep going down this path and we always deviate from it. And I feel for them, but it's not right.
I don't think we always deviate from it. We pretty much hold our path most of the time, and it's a very special situation. I just think that the end result of this thing, and I agree with all of you that it's really inappropriate. But I think the end result is gonna be that there's gonna be no change.
I've got one more question.
But
What if when they take the units out, they just make it a window? And that way you don't have to worry about matching the wood and it being an eyesore and all that.
well, I mean, that would be up to them, but
It still
he
doesn't
could not
meet-
afford
I
to
know,
put them in,
I know, I'm just
and he,
trying to think of
I
another
don't think he's can
option.
afford to do these, but then again, that wasn't the right thing to do either, so. All right, any other discussion? If not, I'll call for the vote. All in favor of the motion to deny, please signify by saying aye.
Yeah.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. All right, this is denied.
Does Catholic Charities still offer money to help people to do things?
Sometimes, yeah.
Does Catholic Charities ever get involved in any of this anymore? They used to. If there was a special need situation where someone needed financial assistance,
I'd imagine
could
it's
apply.
possible. I'm not aware of it, but I'd imagine it's possible.
yeah, it used to be. I don't know if that's still in play anymore.
Habitat for Humanity will help them. As long as they're the homeowner, they'll help them.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, Mr. Davis, we're trying to give you a little assistance on this, so the ladies will be happy to help.
You know, I heard you all discussing everything, but I really didn't understand a whole lot of what you all were saying.
Your petition has been denied, Mr. Davis, so you're gonna have to take those ACs out and put the siding back up on the front face of the building like it was, and then you should get a permit to do any other work. If you're gonna move those to a different location, you need to get a permit from the city before you move them and do any cutting on that house. The historic district has a ton of rules. You can't paint it, you can't do anything to the exterior of that house without getting a permit to do so.
So, you said that I can't paint my house without getting permit?
That's correct.
In the Oaks Historic District, in that area.
If I was able to put, air conditioning some way on the side, would that be permitted?
That's what I said. You have to get a permit. You have to decide what you want to do, and you have to come up here and get a permit to do that work to that house.
And bring up some pictures as well.
That's correct.
Okay. All
Miss Delancey is right here. She is going to help you get in touch with Habitat for Humanity, and they may be able to find a resolution.
All right, our next order of business is Historic District Code Enforcement Report. From the busiest lady in City of Beaumont.
All right. March HLC report. 14 new historic violations, 6 historic re-inspections, 3 new JMV violations, 6 JV re-inspections, 4 JV tagged for removals, 3 new litter violations, 17 litter re-inspections, 14 new weed violations, 28 weed re-inspections, 3 city cut inspections, total 99 inspections.
Wow.
12 certificate of appropriateness applications submitted. And that concludes this report.
And that's all you did this month? We thank you for the job that you do. Does anyone have any questions?
Well, I just wanted to personally thank you for that one that I called you about. There was grass about this tall and weeds, and it was just a really bad situation, and she went and addressed it. But they were already on her radar, so she knew exactly what I was talking about when I called her.
Well, great. If there's no other business, we'll stand adjourned. Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
I just wanted to make sure that you guys got my email regarding the red tag structures. We were able to make contact with it's not necessarily at the appraisal district, but they go through a law firm. Linebarger, Goggin, Blair, and Sampson Law. I'm sorry if I botched any of those names, but that's who they go through. And they handle like the back taxes and sheriff sales. But if you guys have any questions, I do have Delancey here that can expand on it. I know we're going to compile a list to see what we can get on the sheriff's sale if possible. The law firm reviews it and then decides. But we are working on a list to send to them to see about what we can salvage and whatnot.
All right. Well, thank you. I appreciate you following up on those questions that we had last week. Anyone else?
I've got something not quite fits into our group, but Ashley Street that I live on, I'm at Ashley and 9th, and it says Ashley Avenue. Then you get to Ashley and 8th, and it's called Ashley Street. And then Ashley and 9th is Ashley Avenue.
Okay, I'll get with the traffic engineer. Maybe we
Okay,
can get
thanks.
the street names to line up.
Confusing.
Okay.
All right. Anyone else? If not, we'll stand adjourned. Thank you all.
Thank you for listening.
Thank you.
All right, see you at the next meeting tonight.
Yes.